Okay, so here's a little tip for today with regard to using and modifying voices and experimenting with them as you develop them or modify them or change them. So I'm going to show you sort of two situations. So let's say I want to modify the voice here. So we'll go ahead into voices and we'll just do the grand piano. And let's pretend that to start with, we're going to uh, raise it up an octave, and we're going to add a little bit of chorus. So let's just say that that's what the change that we wanted to make. So that's fine. So now you know that you'll hear that difference, and maybe even we'll turn off these two. Okay. So now I exit, continue to play. And you say, okay, that's good. I'd like to go back and make some additional changes to that voice. So I go back in, I hold on the piano, and hey, wait a minute. My changes are gone. I'm back to the original. Um, and I don't want to do that. That's not very effective. Well, what you can do is you can go into, if this behavior is not what you want, meaning every time that you select the voice, it recalls the factory voice in its default configuration, you can go into Menu and go to Preferences. And down here, if yours says Voice Select 2, you can change that to Voice Select 1. So now what happens is when we're in the voice screen, if we make a change, let's do the same thing. We'll go ahead and we'll raise this up an octave, and we'll add some chorus, and we'll turn off these two. Right, and you'll see that I've done that. Now we'll exit, and maybe we'll go look around, we'll do something, we'll come back, and watch when I press it. My settings have been saved. So now I could go ahead and I could say, okay, let me add a grand piano, and let me take the reverb down a little bit, see how that sounds. Again, I can exit voice list a number of ways. I could go in and I could look at other parameters or do other things, and then I could return. And when I return and I select grand piano, instead of it loading it from the original factory setup, it's going to just bring back what you already have in memory, modified as you have done so far. And so you'll see our shift is the same, our chorus is the same, and the second piano there is also turned on. So that ends up being a very nice way, and frankly my preferred way to be able to modify and make changes to voices. It can be very frustrating if you have it the other way, where it's in voice select 1 and in voice select 2, and every time you go to select it, it resets everything back to normal. So I hope you find that tip useful.